Rapzilla's in next year is going to be 20 years of Rapzilla. I've been part of Rapzilla for about 7. So we've had all this excitement like, oh, what are we going to do for the 20-year anniversary of Rapzilla? And it looked like what we were going to do is stop being Rapzilla.
I know y'all like, yo, Trick stopped his show a while ago. This is true. This is true. Every now and then I like to pop up on y'all, keep you sharp, keep you on your feet. First and foremost, Merry Christmas to all of you. I hope you're still enjoying it. I hope you didn't do like some of us, including myself, that jump back into work way too quickly. Man, enjoy it. Take nothing for granted. What I've been saying to people during this season is take nothing for granted. If nothing else, we've seen so many people struggling with so many things, right? So many mental illnesses, so many losses, and so on and so forth. And take nothing for granted, family. Spend the time with your families during this season. So one of the reasons I'm doing a pop-up today is because I have a special guest on the phone. He joins us from Rapzilla. My man Justin Sarchik is on the phone. Justin, how are you, man?
Yo, what's up? Thanks for having me. What's up, Holy Culture?
What's up, man? So I wanted to bring Justin on because, one of the things I said to Justin before we started this was I feel like oftentimes, man, it's so easy to focus on what goes wrong in the community. And I thought what just happened with Rapzilla from front to end was a good story of what goes right or what can go right. And so I thought it would just be good to come on and just kind of unpack everything, man. For those who didn't know, I'll share a quick synopsis of what I saw, and then I want Justin to really unpack it, which was last week, Rapzilla, Justin posted a post that said, look, man, we need some help, or these doors may close. An organization that's been a platform that's helped launch the careers for so many Christian hip-hop artists was working on something, and they needed some help, for real. And so Justin and the team put up a GoFundMe. They were looking to raise $15,000. And I think it was last Thursday, it may have been last Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
And look, man, they've been able to raise it, but we also don't want to take the foot off the gas pedal. That's another reason that I wanted to do this today. So with that, Justin, let's just go back to how did you even get to that point of saying, man, we need a GoFundMe to raise $15,000? Let's start there.
Yeah, so Rapzilla's in next year is going to be 20 years of Rapzilla. I've been part of Rapzilla for about 7. So we've had all this excitement like, oh, what are we going to do for the 20-year anniversary of Rapzilla? And it looked like what we were going to do is stop being Rapzilla. So essentially what happened was at some point over the summer, Rapzilla kept getting hacked. We were having people come on the site to vote for this section that we called Hot or Not, where you vote on this artist, and then we'd pick a winner, and those people would get playlisted. And we kept seeing that there was like tons of votes, like hundreds of thousands of votes coming in for artists, and it was flooding the website, making the website crash. So it was either someone was severely cheating, or we were being hacked, or some combination of both. But that's when a lot of the problems started happening, where every time we made these posts, the site would crash. So we sought out a developer, and we're like, hey, what's going on? And they were just like, yeah, you have security issues on your site. The site is old. Let's fix it up. So they fix up the site. All right, cool. We're all ready to go. A week later, the site crashes again. And we're like, hey, man, what happened? Oh, let me tweak this. Tweaks that. Okay, cool. We got a site again for a week or two. Crashes again. So clearly, whatever that person fixed wasn't the problem.
Right.
So he was like, I know how to do A, you need someone who could do B. So then we go and we find the person who can do B. And that person does all that. And then they say, okay, your site should be good to go. And then we go, the site's up for like 2 days, crashes again. And it's the same thing. We just keep on going back and forth. And that person who does B says, oh, I don't know how to do A. And the problem is with A. So we just keep kicking it back and forth. We're looking for more people, more time, more money's being spent. Weeks are passing. We go to Flavor Fest with our Rapzilla freshmen. So that was a big expense because, we paid for people's lodging. We paid for transportation and different things that were there. And also that's another week lost of working on the website because we were very time consumed. So now we're finally heading into December. We really haven't had any sort of sustainable website since September, which is, no one can advertise on the website. We get a lot of our advertising through people who submit music we post them on the site, and then we offer them advertising. Hey, we posted you. If you're interested, here are some ad offers. We don't
Right.
charge them to get on the site, but we offer it after. But if we can't put them on the site, we can't
Right.
offer them anything.
Right.
So I literally have like a submission inbox in the email with like 150 artists starred that would have been posted, but none of them did. So,
So let me ask a question right
yeah.
there. So that's just to that point. So from September to, let's call it last week, if you had to guesstimate, right? Because you guys had to raise $15,000. What would you even guesstimate you probably lost during that time?
Oh man, I don't even know. Because let's just say out of 150, maybe 25 take an ad out. And those range anywhere from, $50. Some people spend $500. So if we want to just give it a number,
Yeah.
let's just say, I don't know, $5,000. Let's just say maybe a little more, a little less. But in the grand scheme of things, that's a lot of money,
Right.
considering. And we were transparent with the numbers online, so I'll throw the numbers. We spent $6,000 for the people who couldn't fix the site. And then it was at least another $6,000 for people who could fix the site, that we know that can do it because, as I said to you before, you get what you pay for. You're going to
Sure.
pay high quality, but these people will actually fix it.
Right.
And so far, those are the people that are working on the site now. And then couple that with the expenses for Flavorfest, couple that with myself getting paid, our other staffer, Steven Solis, getting paid, plus whatever expenses we accumulated for different things along the way. All this money's going out and nothing's going in except for the Critique Fridays that we do with On Beat Music, which is inconsistent because sometimes, you'll have 40 people submit, maybe sometimes there's only 10. So it's basically relying your entire business on a Critique Friday show. So we got to this point where, Chad was just like, hey, guys, like we there's no money, like there's nothing left. Let's try to start a GoFundMe. And, as they say, the market will dictate whether you're necessary or not. So it's like, if we're able to raise the money and people show up and care and they fund us, awesome. Let's go into that 20th year. Let's be encouraged. Let's feel inspired. Let's keep going. If we can't raise the money, then that's the sign. Okay, we're not needed anymore. We'll take the hint and, we'll move forward, maybe as a social media platform, very, very minimized to what we're doing. Obviously, it's not going to be a job anymore. My biggest concern for the whole thing is, as someone who's like a music history type nerd and a journalist, it's like, yo, I have like 7,000 articles on that website. If that website is gone, like literally all my life's work with Rapzilla is gone. It's like no
Like
more.
you said, the Wayback Machine. We talked earlier.
Right,
You
right.
go to the Wayback
All
Machine.
you got to do is go to the Wayback. But like all of my stuff is gone. Interviews that I did with legends of CHH, the history stories that I tried to tell, down
Right.
from your Stephen Wileys and your D Boys and your Michael
Yes.
Peace, all of this
Yes.
timeline that I've tried to piece together, like it's gone. And
Yeah.
I'm like, that was killing me the most. I was almost like, Chad, whatever it costs, I'll pay for it because I need my articles back. It was almost like I was losing my music collection or like my
Right.
hard drive filled with my next album. But thankfully, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask. So the reality of there truly being the possibility of closing Rapzilla was there. That was reality.
Yeah.
A
Oh,
true
absolutely.
possibility.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It was there. The GoFundMe was sort of the last ditch effort.
Yeah.
And, 15,000 that we were looking to raise doesn't cover, the amount, that we've lost, but we knew it would be a number that we could hit and would put us on the right track to get us back live and then generating again so that, we can get out of, the red and be positive and keep going forward. And, that 15,000 covers the expenses of the people who failed and the expenses of the people who are getting the website done, plus, a little bit more. So, yeah.
And and the reason I asked that question is, the reality of it potentially closing, because I'm sure a lot of folks who listen to our shows and our channel are entrepreneurs, business folks. I think a lot of people get it, right? A lot of times you start a business from, pulling up your shoestrings, borrowing from family, home equity loans, so on and so forth. But a lot of times I think if you're on the outside and haven't done it, you make this assumption that you've got this crazy balance sheet, right, of funds that you can constantly pull from. And though when you do a GoFundMe, it's like surplus to help with a particular project, but that you still have this operating money, so to speak. That's all good. And I think it's important to nail in and clarify that's not the case.
That wasn't the case. We were fortunate enough from, the problem started around August, that we were able to kind of get into this month and be, somewhat okay. But, that ran out. Chad has a family. He can't bankrupt himself and hurt his family. At the same time, this is essentially a full-time job for me and Steven. So if Rapzilla ended, like, now I'd have to find another job. And I have a family, and I already have a couple of jobs, but this was like the main one. So that would be like half of my everything that I made would just be gone. So it would be a struggle for all of us, because then Chad would have the debt of the website, and then me and Steven would have no job. So that we were very close, very close.
I think there's a lot to learn from this, man. When we come back from the break, I'd love to unpack some of, like, as you guys are on the other side. Well, one, let's keep kicking the tire on. Let's not take the foot off the gas, right? Because I think some of the stories that were posted in terms of wow, Rapzilla really helped launch my career. Not a project, not a single. My career is very telling, right? And the number of people who contributed. So let's not take the foot off the gas. But also, like, I would love your perspective and what you and Chad talked about so far in terms of, like, what are some of the biggest lessons learned? So when we come back, let's jump into that, if that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Keep it locked right here, y'all. It's the Coiling Solution Show pop-up edition with Justin Sarachik from Rapzilla. Keep it locked.
Now it's back to the show.
All right, y'all. I'm here with Justin Sarachik from Rapzilla, if you missed the first part of the show. And we're just talking about, again, the fundraise that was recently done to get them over the hump of getting the website restored. And Justin walked us through some of the chronology, the events that took place. And yes, it was a reality that Rapzilla could actually shut down. Before we went to the break, I was saying to Justin, I would love to get your thoughts, man, on one, tell me about the reactions you guys had to the outpouring of the contributions.
Yeah, well, let me first say, because I don't even think I said that, we reached our goal, which was amazing. I think we did it in 48 hours. Like, it was we reached the goal right before Christmas. So it was like we got that gift going into Christmas. And to be honest, we were a little, like, wary of it. Like, we didn't know. We really didn't know the type of response we were going to get. We thought it was going to be more of a teeth pull. So for us to get that done in 2 days was overwhelming. We're extremely humbling, extremely grateful. And the people, the CHH community showed up, including yourself and Holy Culture and crew. We saw posting and sharing, and countless other who people are always like, oh, same team. But oftentimes people don't show up for the same team. Like, everybody showed up for us. And it was amazing.
So good.
And inspiring. And, to your point, what you said, we had Derek Miner share out saying a lot of y'all owe your careers to Rapzilla. Zay Hill specifically said, if it wasn't for Rapzilla, I wouldn't even have a career right now. But even more than the artist, because there were artists who shared and artists who donated. It was kind of more refreshing for us to see that the actual audience and the people and the viewership were there. And as we scroll down the names on the donation list, there are a bunch of names I've never heard of before. They're not artist names. They're not the artist actual name, because I know most of those names too. It's people I never heard of. It's everyday people. $5, here's $25, here's $300. I've been following Rapzilla since 2003. You guys got me into CHH. You guys introduced me to this amazing world. Oftentimes as a journalist, the joke is nobody reads our articles anymore. They just want to watch a Instagram story or a TikTok. So what am I doing writing? And to have people be like, oh, I love your interviews. I read all your stories. Here's $100 or something like that. It's like, whoa, like, you actually got to, like, hear and experience people for the first time, and having them care and say, like, what you did actually mattered and made an impact. And I imagine that's what artists feel like when they get that, that fan mail or that DM that says, hey, your song changed my
Yeah.
life, or
Yeah.
that's this song saved me, or did something like that. So we were
Right.
actually able to feel that love, and it really is like overwhelming. Like we really just couldn't believe it, the way the donations and the support were coming in.
That's great, man. That's great. So now, like to the point of not taking the gas off the pedal, and they may have slowed down, but still dribbling in, if you will.
Yeah.
What have you learned from, I guess, the attack and everything that you may say? These are some things, with this quote unquote extra, right? Because I'm going to be careful with that word extra. When you're running an organization at CHH, I don't know how much extra there really is, but let's just call it, what people may categorize as extra.
Yeah.
How are you guys thinking about it? How are you guys thinking about what you'll do with it and how you better prepare and safeguard yourselves from attacks and stuff?
Yeah, well, the website is going to be completely functional and fantastic, and I'll give you guys some of the breaking news, which we have the funds to like pay for everything to be done, so that's there. So we actually spoke to the people working on the website, and they said, "Hey, your staging website is complete. Take a look at it, and if you approve of everything and everything is good to go, um, we'll send the invoice tomorrow and your site will go live."
Nice.
So
Nice.
because we were able to
Congrats.
raise these funds and the GoFundMe and everything, we could pay for the website and have it done and live tomorrow,
Nice.
which is amazing. Also means I have a whole ton of work of catching up that I need to do, because I think
Right.
we're stuck somewhere in October 3rd. They were able to like recover some articles. So I have like 2 months of stuff to make up for. But yeah, so we'll have a website that hopefully is safeguarded against all sorts of attack. It'll be functional. It'll look better than what we had before. With whatever extra funds, we're trying to think of cool ways to celebrate our 20th anniversary as well, whether that's an event or some sort of thing that we could just roll out. Right now, our focus was really on this. We haven't been able to think too creatively because we're like, we don't even know if we're going to be here. But it's all exciting stuff, and now we feel like we kind of have the possibilities are somewhat endless.
That's good.
Because now we could just move forward and have confidence that we have the funds, and also our community is there for us.
Yeah.
Which is the biggest takeaway of everything, because I know you get those comments or those one things, and it just really shoots you down. You're like, oh man, why am I still doing this? Like why am I giving this my all? And it's so discouraging. And the rare opportunity when you get to see all of the non-negative stuff, it really like inspires you and pushes you forward.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a labor of love, brother. It's a labor of love. And when we say, your rewards are in heaven, this is an occupation where you need to focus on that.
That's all you got. That's all
Your
you got,
rewards are in
man.
heaven. Be in service and love being in service, for real. Hey, what advice would you give to, there's so many other cats. Man, I've started naming names, I'll miss them, but 520 Collective, man, names are just escaping me right now, but just people who run other platforms, big, small, in between. What advice do you give them, having gone through this, man, having seen how vulnerable our sites and our sites become the front door to our brands, how vulnerable things can be? What advice would you give folks listening right now if they're one of those people?
Yeah, well, for people with a platform and even an artist in general, you can't have all your eggs in one basket. Like you see now with the censorship of social media, people losing their accounts. If your whole brand is your 100,000 followers on Instagram or TikTok or something like that, and you get that taken down and you have nothing else, that's it, you're done. So for us, fortunately we have a strong social media presence.
Yeah.
But when you're a news publication, you still need a website, even in this day and age where people are like, oh, no one reads the news, but you kind of still need a home base, right? So for us, my thing would be like, have a contingency plan. Like what would happen if my website is gone? Could we still
Yes.
survive? For us, it was like, yeah, we could, but it would not even be close to what we were doing before. So it makes you now moving forward, rethink like, what are ways that we can combat this? For me, a lesson that I learned personally is I need backups of all the articles that I wrote instead of writing them directly into the website. Otherwise, I would have lost everything. So I already did that. I already went and like did a download file of like every article I ever wrote through like the admin of the website.
Right.
But yeah, for for other platforms out there, like if your whole identity is based on your website or your Instagram or your Twitter or your YouTube page, you have to be prepared for the reality that that's not always going to be there. For the artist, if your whole identity is in your social media or your streams or whatever, what happens when that's not there? And if you haven't given it any thought and it just happens, then you're in trouble. But if you spent the time to sort of strategize, what ways could I escape this and or get out of it or make the best of it, you'll already be ahead of the game.
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's really good advice, y'all. Hey, listen, we're gonna come back with more with Justin Sarchik from Rapzilla. When we come back, we're gonna talk about what he is loving in CHH right now. Okay, what is Justin loving right now? What is he looking forward to writing? That's one of the things I want to know.
I'm glad I have a commercial break for this.
Yeah, I know. We'll be right back after this, y'all. Keep it locked. ScoreLink Solutions Show right here. Holy Culture Radio, SiriusXM channel 154. Keep it locked, y'all. I am back in the house with Justin Sarchik from Rapzilla. We've been talking about what's been going on, the recent happenings that they would have preferred not to be happenings. But the good news is that they've been able to raise some funds and meet their goal. And so we've talked about that. If you need to get that, you can go back and check that out. You know, if you're listening on your SiriusXM app, if you didn't notice, you could actually hit rewind and start the show at the top of the hour. See, I'm always trying to give y'all some tips, so you can do that. Also, I want to make sure you know that we're giving out some winter giveaways, y'all. So we're going to keep doing that probably throughout the rest of the winter. So through, I'm going to say at least the end of January. Go to holyculture.net/contest, giving away some winter beanies and some hoodies and whatnot to help you keep warm, okay? People in California who I've been talking to, when y'all say it's cold, I just want to often say your 60 degrees is not really cold when you're talking to us from like Philly, when it's like 10 degrees down here. But I'm going to give you a pass regardless. You still can win. So, but yeah, just don't say that when we get on these Zoom calls. It's cold when we ask you, like, 60 degrees. You can hold on
nice
to that.
8-degree Christmas we had up here on the East Coast.
What? Yeah, it was. I mean, just to go down to the parking lot and grab something out the car was like, oh my, man. So, but yeah. So, Justin, tell me, what are you looking forward to now, man, in CHH? Like, if you could only name 3 things, like, man, this, or what things are you excited about? What things are inspiring you? What are the things that you're looking forward to? I'll put it in those categories.
All right. Well, one of the things that excited me the most, and it excited me last year too, was when we were able to do our freshman trip, an event for the first time. We did that last year with that class, and this year with this class at Flavor Fest. It was really amazing to see all of these young artists come together. Yeah. And for the most part, I'll say like 99%, put their egos aside. Everyone's got a little ego that's an artist. Put their egos aside and actually come together and work collaboratively towards one goal. Everyone was there. Everyone was big up in each other. Everyone was a cheerleader. Nice. Everyone was trying to bring the best out of each other. This last class was... Oh, here we go.
Sorry about that. You thought it was great. I should do a freestyle. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I wasn't ready. But yeah, just watching everybody come together in that way really sort of gave me hope for the future of where CHH is going. Nice. Because oftentimes everyone sees each other as competition, right? So it's like, oh man, this guy's gonna get more streams than me, or this girl's gonna blow up more than me. We were all together. Everyone was hanging out as peers. Like I said, everyone was big up in each other. We got to see the responses, from the ciphers and the album that dropped. And actually, that brings me into my second point, is there is a space for every kind of style within CHH. We were able to drop like a regular sort of hybrid part 1 cipher that had different styles in it, and everybody loved it. Everyone was saying who their favorite one is, and they were all different styles. Then we were able to drop a boom bap cipher, with those North Philly guys, Prodi and Q. Yep, and then you had Eddie Clark and Alcott in there spitting like he is the Christian rap god. And that was a totally different cipher and look, and people showed up for that one and like, yo, we still want bars in CHH. Right. Okay. So they still want the bars in CHH. And then the third would be coming off of this GoFundMe. experience is there's still a very active community in CHH, and a lot of times people throw around CHH is dead, um, or the industry of CHH is dead, or this is dead, and everyone has their own definition of what that means. But at the
Right.
actual heart of it, the community is very much alive,
Yes.
and they're looking for new music and they're looking for new artists, and they're there to support. And we found that out in a major way this last week. And we feel like things have spiraled off of there too,
Mm.
because people showed up for Rapzilla, but now maybe they'll show up for Holy Culture. Maybe they'll show up for Track Stars. Maybe they'll show up for this person because they're like, hey, we need to keep all of these guys going. We need to keep
Right.
all of
Right.
them together because this community is too important. If we could lose one, why can't we, also lose the other ones?
That's right.
So it just brought everybody together. Even like, hey, maybe let's go buy some merch from my favorite artist instead of giving them, 1 cent on their stream or something like that.
Right.
It's like just kind of investing into the culture and the business aspect of it and the music aspect. All of it needs each other and feeds each other. And it's just super encouraging to see that coming into the new year, especially around the holidays, around Christmas time, when things are tight, that people can still have this sense of community and essentially open their doors or open their hearts to different things.
Absolutely. No, those are great points. I couldn't agree with you more, man, particularly on the collaboration versus competition piece, bro. And I think one of the things too that this GoFundMe, again, I would never wish that it happened, but one of the, in addition to you guys meeting the number, was the signaling to folks that how close to the bone most organizations are running in this space.
Absolutely.
Right? And that reality hitting people like, what? Wow, really? Like, man, they could be that close. Like, wow, 15 grand could take them down if they don't get it. I think for a lot of people that probably bubbled up a sense of, man, maybe we have to have better community responsibility and accountability. Maybe accountability is too strong a word, so I'll just leave it at responsibility, though, right? To be thinking and looking to the left and right of, man, are we helping each other? You know what I mean? And
Right.
doing those things.
Yeah, it is. It's so interesting because 15 grand from a business aspect in the grand scheme of things is not a lot of money, but 15
Right.
grand is also a lot of money,
Right.
depending on where you're going.
Exactly
So
right.
when you have a large following, it's like, oh, 15 grand, that should be an easy thing to do. But it actually it's not, because you're asking people to invest in something that they've never invested in before, monetarily.
That's right.
So much of news or media, you consume this stuff for free. You go on your Spotify, you listen to whoever's album for free. Why would I pay $15-20 for a new album if I could just listen to it infinitely for nothing?
That's right.
Or if I could just go on your website and read all your articles, why would I give you any sort of
Right.
money? So it's kind of trying to also change the collective habits of the consumer in 2022. Like 20 years ago, this probably would have been a very easy thing. It's like, oh yeah, we'll pay for anything we can get because there's not 100 different things all around that we can look at.
Right.
You have this and that's it. So yeah, because I know some people be like, oh, 15,000, that's so much. How dare you guys ask that? It's not like that much. I think I put in the note, like if we just had 1/5 of our followers just give $1,
Right.
we'd hit the goal in like a day.
Right.
But it's never that simple with
Right.
anything.
1/5 skip a latte today, and we'd be well beyond the goal, right? Or yeah,
Yeah.
10%
Yeah.
skip a latte rather. We'd be beyond the goal. So yeah, that's good, man. That's good. Well, listen, thanks for joining, man. I'm glad that you guys hit the goal. I'm glad you're surpassing the goal, and anything we could do here to continue to support, bro. You know we're gonna do it. My shouts out to you, Chad, and the rest of the team. And appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having us. I know when we talked, I wasn't, it was kind of coming on to promote it. I didn't think we'd actually hit it in that quickly, but we did, which is incredible.
Amazing.
So super blessed. We're gonna leave it open up until the new year. But again, we've reached our goal. We're eternally grateful to everybody who's donated, for the artists who shared, for you guys at Holy Culture and Track Stars and everybody else who got together with us to share the platform and help us bring in our 20 years.
For sure. Hey y'all, if you still want to go donate, the Instagram post is out there on the Rapzilla Rapzilla Instagram post is on our Holy Coaching Instagram as well. And if you go to the post, you'll see a link there to the GoFundMe. So still give and help them push beyond it. It's a signaling of what we can do as a community, and it'll help them just continue to be good at doing what they're doing in terms of bringing forth that content for the community. Until next time, y'all, I'm signing off. This is Trig. Again, it's been Justin Sarchik from Rapzilla. And y'all stay blessed out there. Stay warm. Enjoy your family and loved ones. And again, take nothing for granted during this holiday season. Go on and love on somebody, y'all.